Before you skip or fast forward this video, please listen to me for a second. You're watching this because you obviously want to learn something about web design. This is exactly why I created this whole new playlist where I'm going to talk about web design, right? And I'm going to teach you everything that you're going to need to make any website that you want. You can obviously go to websites such as like, I don't know, WordPress and things like that, and use the templates which are already out there. And like, yeah, sure, you can get by. But if you want to have the knowledge of the web design, if you want to generate and create any website that you want, which by the way, you cannot find the templates for like a lot of useful websites. So if you want to have the knowledge yourself, then this playlist is going to be for you. We're going to talk about different web technologies. The first thing that we are going to talk about is the HTML. What is HTML? HTML is basically the skeleton, the backbone, the structure of any web page, right? So you add the text, you add the image, you add like all the contents that you want using an HTML, right? So that's what we need to learn about the HTML language. The next thing that we need to focus on is the CSS, right? The CSS basically makes your HTML file pretty. So it sits on top of the HTML and make it look good. It adds color to your HTML. It lets you position things in your web, right? Let's say you want to move this up, you want to move this down, you want to put this in the center. And in all those things, that's where the CSS comes in. And finally, JavaScript or JS is something that we add or we use to make our website interactive, right? You want to ask the user for some input. You want to save some information, right? Things like that, they all come with JavaScript. So these photos in here, they should actually make it very clear that what each of these web technologies does. As you can see, the HTML is basically a skeleton. There's not much, but it's like all the content. Whatever is going to be built up on that. And then CSS is used to make it pretty. Look at this guy, handsome, pretty. And then finally, JavaScript sits there to make it interactive. And we're going to talk about all of these. We're going to talk about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript as well. So let's not waste the time and actually get started. As you can see, my editor of the choice is Visual Studio Code, but you can use whatever you want. But in a second, you will see why I'm using this because it's just like super duper easy. So I just want to create a new file, and I'm just going to call that webdev or whatever you want. But it is important that you name it as a .html file, right? So now we have an HTML file. Why am I using the webdev? Because, why am I using the VS Code? Because it's really easy. If I right click here and go show preview, it's going to show a white page here for me and shows what my website looks like as I keep adding stuff to it. Now it's an empty page because I haven't put anything in here. So for today's video, I want to talk about HTML elements and some of the tags, right? So what is an HTML element? An HTML element is basically whatever comes between the tags, okay? The follow-up question would be, what's a tag? So HTML has a lot of tags. Basically, whatever you want to write in HTML, it comes with a tag, right? Some of the tags that are very important, and we talk about them today. As I said, like there's a lot of tags out there. So there is obviously not enough time for me to cover them all in today's video, but we will see them as we go, in the next videos. But in today's video, I'm just going to talk about a few of them. The first one that I want to talk about is the heading tab. So if I go open caret or like the smaller than sign and go H1 and then close it, it automatically adds the next one for me. I didn't type it out. It just automatically added it. So this is called an opening tag, right? And this is called a closing tag As you can see, there's a slash h1. So I open h1. So this is slash in here. It means that I'm closing h1. And whatever comes in here. So if I go hello, that's not how I spell hello. If I go hello, you will see that it's just going to add it to this, the preview in here. So it says that your website is going to look like something like this on the right side. And this is a header, right? Because it's a tag h1, right? It's a header, so it makes it bold automatically. If you want to like change the font or change the size or things like that, that's where the CSS comes in, right? But HTML gives you 6 different options for different sizes of heading. So if I go H2, for example, right, again, it does the same thing for me. And if I do the same thing, hello, you'll see that it's a smaller size. So these headers, and by the way, this goes from H1 to H6. So you don't have H7. So if I just like copy these and paste them in here, that would be 3, 4, 5, 6. And then same goes here. Oops. That I meant 5. Sorry, 4, 5, and 6, right? And you can see here that like the sizes are changing, and like this is for different headers of different importance. Let's say you want to write a resume, you want your name bigger, so you use, for example, H1, and then you want your affiliation like smaller, then you use H2, and then so on and so forth, right? So this is the header tabs. And as I said, like whatever comes in between, which is like hello in this case, is called an HTML element. So this is about the header tabs. The other tag, the other tag that I want to talk about is the paragraph tab. Just like the header tab, I just open it, go P for paragraph, and I close it. It automatically adds the closing tag for me as well. And then whatever comes inside, right, is treated as a paragraph. So if I just go some random text in here, right, you see it's just a paragraph. If I go to the next line and keep typing, it's not gonna change it for me, right? It says, okay, it's still a paragraph. I'm just keep adding everything that you add to that, and I'm not gonna go to the next line because you said it's just one paragraph, right? So the follow-up question would be, okay, how can I go to the next line? Well, that's easy. There is a tag for that, and the tag for that is called BR, short for break. If you noticed, when I close it, it doesn't add a closing tag for me because it doesn't really mean anything. BR is just break, right? It says go to the next line. So it doesn't really mean to have an opening tag and a closing tag, right? Tags like this, such as BR, these are called void tags, right? And if I keep typing after that, you will see that it goes to the next line now. Cool. So we talked about the headers, all 6 of them. We talked about the paragraph tab. We also talked about the BR tag, right? The other tag that I want to talk about is the HR tag. So if I go here and go HR, and as you can see, it just added a horizontal line. So this tag, just like BR, is a void tag. It's used to separate 2 different sections, or like for whatever purpose that you have. Let's say you want to have a line in your website somewhere to separate things, right? This is where the HR tags comes in. Something which is worth noting is that you don't really have to have like, well, 2 notes actually. The first note is that you can nest the tags into one another, right? As you can see, I'm using the BR and the HR tag inside the P tag. You can obviously do the same thing here as well, right? So I can go hello, and then in the hello, I can just go HR, for example, right? And it adds a, excuse me, it adds the horizontal line here for me as well. And a good practice is to, add the slash, right? You see, for example, how for the normal tags, right, we had slash h4 or like slash p down here, right? For voids, as you saw, like it works without even the slash thingy, but it's good practice to have it. And just to show that it's different from regular ones and it's a void, slash comes like after the name of the tag itself, right? It's HR and then slash. And same things applies here for BR and like for this HR as well. So obviously you can have like tags into one another, right? So you can put the whole thing, for example, this paragraph can be part of, for example, a H3 tag, right? So it opens it here, and I can add like a paragraph here, go P, close it, and then like add something else in that paragraph, right? So you can obviously nest the different tags into one another. That works. And the other thing that I wanted you to pay attention to is that some of them, like the horizontal tag, it works even if it's like outside everything. Like it works on its own. If I add that in here, you see it's not inside any other tag. It's not nested into anything else, but it's still working perfectly fine, right? And I think that's enough for today's video. We talked about different tags. I think like until I upload the next video, it's really good practice for you guys to keep playing with this. Make yourself familiar with the formatting and how to use them, and like play around. Try to have like header tags inside the paragraphs or the other way around, or like, I don't know, like play with anything that you want. You can obviously also like look online and find some of the tags and just like add those, keep playing with those and start like learning how the other tags may actually work, right? It's like very much encouraged to do all of that. And yeah, in the next video, we'll be talking about some other important stuff to make our structure or the skeleton of our HTML looking more practical. So the other useful things that you may actually want in your website, we want to keep adding them step by step, right? So make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so that you can actually see the next video when I upload it. Thank you for watching me. If you liked it, if you found it useful, please like this video. It's going to help me a lot and supports me a lot too. You guys have a good one. See you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.